Welcome to the B4evaKool podcast. My name is Rexyfortyfive.
My name is TJ.
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. This is the first of hopefully many to come. And what is the B4evaKool podcast? Well, we're going to be talking about motorcycle racing mostly. But definitely different parts of motorcycles and street riding and all type of riding and we'll probably go off into some other things, but it's gonna definitely revolve around something with an engine in it, right?
That's right.
Now TJ's from Two Wheels and Coffee, and he has a cool series that he's coming out with, and it's a club more or less, right? It's gonna be
In a little club, a little get together for a local community, but see how far we can expand it.
right, exactly.
But it's just another bike movement. Talk about racing and
To get people.
get people in it, the safety, tips, tricks, and all the good stuff. Just a little something different.
Right. So, welcome everyone. So I'm gonna start off by talking about how long I've been racing, which it's coming up on some times. But I started racing, I guess, a little over 10 years ago. And
10 years ago, huh? How long you been riding?
I 11 years.
So, so you, after 1 year riding, you jump straight to the track.
After 2 months of riding, I didn't jump to the track. But my buddy had a race bike he was selling. So like by the end of the summer, so I bought my bike say in June, and by September I had a race bike with plans to go racing the following year.
Wow, that's a big step.
It's huge, and my journey is probably a little bit different, and I knew that at the time. So for me, I did 11,000 miles on my street bike in a year.
Yeah, that's like a
That's like what 4 or 5 seasons for some people.
well. So for people who don't know, we're in New England, so that is a lot of miles to put in for with the 6 months of riding that we usually get.
So right. So and
That's
this is
good weather.
right. And this is where TJ and I will differ. I ride all year round, so that's how I was able to do that. I have cold weather gear, so I have heated socks, heated pants, heated jacket, heated gloves, heated grip. And so if there's no snow on the ground, I'm riding.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did for the first year, because I knew I was going to have a big undertaking going to the racetrack. I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
Well, yeah, that's pretty interesting. That's much different than myself.
Yeah. So and from there, like you're a little different, but we both ended up at the same place in that we decided that we wanted to go racing, and the first thing we had to do was purchase a race bike.
That's right.
And you could also build a race bike. You don't have to purchase one, but we find that it's cheaper to buy a bike that somebody's selling has all the good bits on it that you need to go racing.
And you don't need a perfect bike to go racing. Just have to be in good working order. You can always add parts, along the way. You just kind of need the plastics and, a couple extra goodies on there, like rear sets.
Right. I guess the first step you have to do is check your funds.
Yeah.
And that'll tell you what kind of race bike you're going to buy.
Well, yeah. And I was also told, I asked a friend, like, how does this work for you guys? Like, how do you afford all this? And they just said, just close your eyes and swipe your credit card. And
Uh,
I've been doing that, and it's been 3 years now.
Got you.
Track, so
That is the
not a smart idea.
yeah, and that's what you'll hear at racetracks. You'll hear the organizers say, most folks that are at these racetracks are here on their credit cards, because we're not getting paid for doing it. Now, there are ways to get paid, but you have to be good. But we're not, that's later. This is more,
Little intro.
this is more intro, right? Check your funds.
Yeah.
figure out. There's a bunch of different schools for racing. I think if you type in your search bar, I want to race a motorcycle school or something to that effect, you'll find a bunch of schools. And I guess depending where you are in the world, it depends on the school. But it's going to be a day or two of riding, learning how to ride, and then you get your license if you pass a test of sorts. Which for me, and maybe for you as well, because we went to the same place, just different time. As long as you completed the first race of the day, you got your license, and completed meaning you stayed upright. It doesn't matter what place you finish in or how long it took.
Yeah, so we switch a little bit about me. Yeah, so a little bit about myself. I've been riding since 2012, so it's been about 10 years.
Gotcha.
10
Okay,
years
so
plus.
we started riding the same time,
Yeah, that's crazy, you know.
right?
And I'm 36 now, so I started when I was 26. Um, had I knew about bikes. I knew they were dangerous and everything, and it was just something that was in me. I had friends that rode before, but none of my friends had a bike, and it was just something that clicked that just wanted me to get into it. And I started watching videos, and I just got hooked. And all I was doing was watching motorcycle videos day and night for months until I got my first bike. My first bike, I didn't get approved because I tried to finance one, and then I found one that I bought in cash. And it was a 2005 GSXR 600.
Mm-hmm.
And people say that when you start out riding, go on a lower speed bike like a 250 or 400. But I did go to the riding school to get my license.
Right.
And I felt very comfortable on the bike that they gave me. And I just knew that I would outgrow that bike. So I'd put myself to the test. I like speed, and I learned on the 600. Rode around town with a bunch of friends, hooligans, in packs and stuff, and had no idea about, track riding. I knew about it, and I was just like, who wants to do that?
Right.
And I met you.
Right.
And then got into the game and seen how you can get into the track with just, minimal amount of gear or whatever, and because, they have it for rent, and you just need a bike.
Got you. Right. So yeah. So I guess that's where it is different. I bought a bike. Since you're giving out age, I'm a lot older than well, I guess we're probably 10 years, give or take, because we started riding at the same time, but probably 10 years difference in age. And so for me, was I purchased a bike when you started. You as you were saying, you rented a bike. But you bought your suit, so you bought a one-piece suit, gloves, boots, and you have to have a helmet that's it can't be over 5 years old.
Yeah. So when I went there, I had a helmet that the helmet I had wasn't 5 years old. It was made in 2019, so it was good to ride. But so I jumped into just racing.
Right. Like with me as well.
Yeah.
Instead of doing like a track day.
Yeah, instead of doing a track day. So when I went, I rented a bike from Penguin Track School in Loudoun, New Hampshire, and the helmet that I had when I did the practice, I could just wear just a normal helmet.
Right.
But when it came to the race time, it had to be race ready. So the helmet didn't have like the air pull.
Right, exactly.
Like in case
easy eject
easy
eject system essentially.
So I had to install that like an eject equipment inside the helmet to make it race ready. So
got you. And I think regardless of buying a bike or renting a bike, that first weekend, overall cost, if you don't have a race suit already, purchasing a race suit, boots, gloves, helmet, and renting a bike, you're talking about what we're probably getting in there for like, $2,500.
Yeah,
give or take.
Give or take. Yeah.
I mean, you can buy used race suits, you can buy used gloves, you can buy used helmets, you can buy used boots, so you could save some money. But roughly a weekend, and then the class is around $250.
And yeah, it's expensive in the beginning. Once you get all your gear, you're halfway there. It's expensive in the beginning, but if you get hooked to it the next time around, the cost does go
Right.
down.
Get yourself a second job just for racing. I mean, there's no the finances is the biggest part, and you know what I mean. Because once you get out there, for me, my first time, again, you had about 8-9 years of riding before you started racing.
Yeah.
Neither one of us did track days before we started racing. I started racing a year after riding. But what you find out quickly is that you love it.
Oh yeah.
And you want to just do it as much as possible, right? I mean that's for me, I did like a race weekend. I did another race weekend. Went home and thought about it. Came back the next year, did a couple of weekends, and you realize I was hooked. And by my third year, I'm racing 7 weekends out of the year.
And you know what it is? It's the atmosphere. It's just when you walk in, the atmosphere. It's just everyone is so friendly. It's like a family, and
Correct. Correct. It's easy to feel real comfortable. It's easy to just be like, wow. And again, this is something that I hadn't experienced anywhere else. I consider myself a man about the town or the world, but I didn't go to racing events. And so getting in there and seeing it's a family.
Yep, just hearing the bikes rev to the limit, and for me going in there and not having major funds for this, there's so many people there that
a lot of us don't have major funds.
Yeah, but there's so many friendly people there that will help you with anything.
Correct.
For me, like I had my bike transported sometimes, or
if you need
parts or somewhere to sleep or anything you think of, there's somebody there that can help supply you with something.
Yeah.
So just having a few pieces of equipment like a helmet and a tracksuit, someone can supply you with gloves or support you of getting onto the track by, help you renting, or there's somebody there that can help you. So.
Exactly. Guys and women will give you their spare parts and then go race with you. I mean, that's the environment. It's not like, oh, you're not going to race tomorrow, so I got this. They have no problem letting you use your parts or even a whole complete bike and go compete against them in that same race.
Then, everyone has their little ego. They don't want to, as far as like money. So I want to do everything on my own. I don't want to borrow or ask people for stuff, but everyone's just giving. So
correct.
It's hard to
and I don't want to come off like that. It's just for free. I mean, you barter, you make a deal on the spot for parts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. There's some people that will lend you their bikes, but I don't want to make it seem like that's expected, right? Or lend you parts, but generally somebody will sell you a part and off that they have a spare part if you don't have it, that type of thing.
Resources are available. So.
Resources are available. And the crazy part is that, and we're talking about all this, but is it fun?
Oh yeah, it's fun. You get out there, you're scared. You get the butterflies, and you want to improve. So it does make you a better rider. You follow people that that are really good. Some are professionals, and you get hooked because you want to do what they're doing, and you love to ride. So it just comes hand in hand. And if you like speed, it's just, who doesn't like leaning, dragging a knee.
Exactly. Who does not like leaning?
It's just when you get off and then you're safe. The adrenaline is just another level. So
right. Let's talk about that a little bit, because in the beginning, it's like any other training, right? It's the fun isn't there because there's so much to digest at once, right? There's rules, there's flags, right? There is a path. You can't see it, but there's a path, and if you follow the path that you cannot see, aka the line that you cannot see, everybody else will know what you're doing, and they'll pass you in the right spot if they have to pass you, or when they're going to pass you, because they're going to pass you in the beginning.
Oh yeah, there's so many rules and braking markers that you got to pay attention to, and your attention literally has to be on the track the whole time you're
Correct. It is one of the few
Yeah.
places, right, that you not one. Yeah, it's like being on the 20th floor of a building and you're outside
on. Yep.
the window.
Yeah.
You have to focus, and it's a beautiful thing though, because you do amazing things. I couldn't have predicted this, right? Like I have enough information now that I can say wow, but like when you first got out there, you don't know what you're capable of doing.
Absolutely not.
But that moment when you get there and everything just feels like music.
Yeah, especially as you start improving, everything starts to flow.
Yep.
And you're like, wow, this is really good. I like this.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I can get a little faster and do it. I don't know. It just starts to click.
It starts to click, but in the
And
beginning,
it's like poetry.
there's some learning
Mhm.
in the beginning, but then there's gonna be a point where you just start to enjoy it, where you're gonna tap the tank of your bike because it's it's like you and the machine did it.
Yeah.
So, and it's a my background is I love speed. I background. I love from the time I can remember, whether it was on foot race, bicycle race, whatever the race was. I always wanted to be the fastest. Like it does to this day, it doesn't matter. It just happens that it's motorcycles for me now. But when you're if you have that racing spirit, right, or whatever, it's because it's not for everybody, right? There's some people that come there and they pack up and they put a for sale sign on that bike.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and that's okay because you know what it is, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean. It's not for everyone, but for the races, the people that like that where you feel like you can do no wrong.
Yeah.
It's a feeling that you know what I mean. You don't get every day.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that I was going to be on the track or enjoy it like I am, and I just think too, when I was growing up, I used to always ride my bicycle,
Right.
speeding down the street, and I would like turn corners so fast, and I can just relate to riding motorcycles now. But I always liked speed, driving cars,
Right,
stick
yep.
shift. I had, parts for the car to make it faster, and
All that.
yeah,
Engine
So,
swaps,
yep,
all
so-
that. All that.
And I was around people who had the same mentality. I used to go to, drag strips,
Mhm.
in parts of Massachusetts,
Oh yeah, for
on
sure. You know
weekends,
that.
with
And-
my bikes and with cars. So
Yeah.
then
No,
I
I
had no idea I would go to the track.
Yeah. No, I've done a lot of street racing, things I'm not proud of, but I was good at it, and I didn't. I can count on one hand how many times I've lost.
I do know one thing is now that I've gone to the track and I'm addicted, it's hard to go back to the street and try to ride the same.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly.
It does improve your riding, but
You-
you just
you-
realize how dangerous the street really is. So.
Exactly.
Yes.
And most people on the street don't have the gear for the type of riding. Don't wear the gear for the type of riding that they want to do on the streets. And I've fall. I don't know how many times you've fallen. I've fallen since 2012. I've fallen about 7 times.
Yeah, I fell my 600 when I got it my first time.
Right.
It was a good fall, 30 miles an hour.
Oh, so my first
And-
fall was 80 miles an hour,
Yeah.
and I slid down the highway for well over 100 feet.
Yeah, I haven't had a fall like that, but I fell twice on my 1,000.
Right.
Like little freak accidents.
Yeah. And what saved me and why I'm still like this is because I was wearing gear.
Yeah, gear is very important.
I had gloves, boots, race suit, 2-piece race suit. The suit took all of the damage, and I ride everywhere with gear. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't matter. I've broken a bone. I've lost body parts for sure from riding. But it's gear, and gear has protected my body and my head.
Yeah, and gear is not just a helmet and gloves.
It's not. You got to do the pants. You got to do the jacket. You got to do it all. And it's we see a lot of people ride without gear, and you can.
I've done it. I've done it
Yeah.
plenty of times. I've been riding for, like I said, 10 years. So
Yeah.
I've been
No,
there.
yeah, and I get it.
Yeah.
I would have, I started riding later in life, right? I mean, what I'm saying, I started riding when I was essentially 40. So, being older, safety is more in my mind. Now, granted, when I was 17, 18, I was racing without a seatbelt on. So, the young does take more chances than when you get older.
Yeah.
But I, regardless of your age, regardless of how it looks, there's some, and I don't want to disrespect some riders, because some riders' philosophy is, if I go down, I go down. That's it. Right. And there's riders like that, and there's riding communities like that. I have friends like that will refuse, that refuse to wear gear. So I don't want to, I prefer gear because I want to be around. And I don't want to just go down with my bike and call it like that. But if you have that belief and you accept it, it's no different. I mean, we race motorcycles. People lose their lives on the track. No doubt about it. So it's not that we are of the same mind of taking risk, because we're getting on these bikes. You know what I mean? I just prefer to have an airbag in my suit.
Oh, yeah. And, it could be a hot day. You could wear like a back protector,
Right.
gloves, helmet, and, some jeans. It doesn't have to go all out,
Right.
full suit. Just you got to protect yourself.
Correct. But today
Yeah.
there's so much more gear
Yeah.
that's lightweight. It's
And
it's a very expensive sport, right?
Right.
And that's I think that's the bigger problem, because you got to have a summer jacket, you got to have a rain jacket, you got to have a fall jacket. You know what I mean? You got to have a winter jacket or a 4-season jacket if you're gonna try to ride all year round. You're gonna have to have jeans that got Kevlar in them if you want to ride in the summertime. So
it is an investment.
My Nike collection has gone down since I've been racing motorcycles.
Yeah, you can't get no more Yeezys, you can't get no more Jordans.
I only look at motorcycle
sport.
shoes. That's it.
Yeah, that's how hard the addiction is. If
you know what I
really love
mean?
it.
But I don't think it's worth losing your feet, having road rash, because you know what I mean. Because you want to wear something, the shorts, so you want to wear a t-shirt, right? I think for some riders, they ride most of the times and nothing happens to them.
Yep.
That's not me. I've crashed, like I said, 7+ times. You know what I mean? So I know I'm going to crash again.
So mama wants me to wear gear, so
Yeah.
I got to make sure I wear gear for her.
You know what I mean? And I recommend it for sure.
And I've been naive of wearing gear, so I think what it took was going to the track, and I'm just like, dang, I got to put on. I gotta put on a one-piece suit, and then I gotta put on a chest and a back protector, and then I gotta put on a whole suit, and then a full gauntlet gloves, and I gotta put on full boots. I'm like, dang, it's too much. And then I fell on the track, it almost ripped through the suit.
Yeah, but your skin was intact.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I feel great.
Yeah,
So now when I'm on the street, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, no,
I'm putting gear on.
I crashed last year and my airbag went off, and that was the first time I had a suit on that had an airbag in it. Taking a fall, and I'm just like, oh, this is like falling on a pillow.
Yeah, it's just, it's dangerous to fall because there's other bikes around. But
for sure, if you hit something and you're not moving, you can jack yourself up. But if you fall and slide down the road with a good suit on, your skin, your body will love you for it.
And again, we're riding to be safe and go to work. We're not out here to hurt each other or anything.
Exactly.
It's all teaching you how to be predictable as well. So.
Correct. And so, here we have two different riders, both riding roughly about the same time, but we got two different paths to come out to the racetrack. And we say all that to say that there's folks who are out there considering riding, are curious about it, want to ride. And this is just a part of that. Like, listen, go ride, go learn how to ride the right way, and it's a lot of fun. Is it just as dangerous as going to sleep at night? Just as dangerous.
Yeah, a lot of people are just afraid to be on two rails that don't want to deal with, shifting gears and being in traffic. It's just a fear that people have. But I'm telling you, just go to a back road. You can do it once a week, and
And that's
don't have to be even around people. You know, can find ways to get around.
right.
It, but
And that's one of the things they teach you at the track. Go the pace you're happy at. Don't go a pace that you can't do. Just ride the pace you're happy with. And if going around the track at 30 miles an hour is your pace, and if you go out there and you ride and you're riding predictable, right in that imaginary line that you can't see, but everybody else knows and they can't see either, but they know what you're doing and they will ride around you. So you don't have to go out there thinking you have to be riding the limits, your knees and elbows and head has to be on the ground.
and that won't happen the first time you're out there. And trust me on that. And you'll be worried about a lot of other things. But yeah, I've seen people go very slow, and I've gone very slow.
Yeah, we all have.
I have videos of people blowing by me.
Yeah.
It's something to get used to, and it just takes slow fare out of you. And you know, you go at your own pace, and there's a lot of coaches there, and a lot of people that help you along the way.
Right. So we're gonna wrap this up by saying a couple of things. So let's summarize what you think about the whole getting out and racing and how do you feel about it now, and and whatever else you want to say.
I just wish that I've got into it a lot earlier in life. Yeah, it's a dangerous sport, but it's just a good environment to be around altogether. It's just another hobby, that takes you away from work, and you just enjoy. I just wish I did it before, the age I started. I'm glad I'm doing it and can't wait to get back out there. It is winter time right now, or almost winter, so we're just preparing right now. But yeah, just everybody should wear their gear, or suit up on the track, and we're just trying to teach you how to be safe, and another way to get into motorcycles and riding.
No doubt, and I'll echo what he says. It's such an addictive thing, and you just want to be out there, and you just want to keep pushing yourself to become better and better, and the people you're around, it made me look at the world differently. By being around these folks and just continue to show that they're good people out there.
Yeah, there's too much hate in this world. Like, there's just so much love on the track.
Yeah, it is, and competition.
Yeah,
lots of competition. Lots of competition. So my name is Rexyfortyfive.
My name is TJ.
This is the show. Be Forever Cool. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.